At just 18, he began his career as a railroad industry, quickly rising to become one of the youngest locomotive engineers in American history. Over a 43-year career, Kevin worked tirelessly serving local chairman and union steward of the United Transportation Union, and later a member of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen. His experience in leadership, problem solving, and grassroots organizing, that's what we need, prepared him to take on a challenge of revitalizing the Oklahoma Democratic Party.
Well, thank you very much, Catherine. Thank you. So, again, my name is Kevin Dawson. I am running for Oklahoma Democratic Party State Chair. And again, the whole premise behind doing this is that we want to focus on rural and working class people. We need to get away from the DC establishment. We need to get away from the consultant establishment. We need to bring this stuff back home and start working from the grassroots up.
Yes, sir.
We really need to focus on growing our party, not from the top down, but from the bottom up.
Yes, sir.
And that means we need to start meeting people on their doorsteps. But let's talk about the platform that I'm running on. The first thing I want to do is I want to establish a permanent campaign. That means when we're not campaigning for a candidate, we're campaigning for our party.
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you had somebody call you up and say, hey, look, I want to campaign for the party. I want to build the party back up. That's what I want to do. That's what we've got to focus on as individuals. We've got to make sure that we are doing what is possible to build the Democratic Party back up. A couple of questions to ask you, and this is audience participation. Who do you trust with your Social Security? Democrats, right?
Yes.
Who do you trust with your health care?
Democrats.
Who do you trust with making sure that we've got the infrastructure that we can continue to grow our state? Democrats. So we also know that the Republican Party wants to control the will of the people. Who wants to help the will of the people?
Democrats.
That's right. So Democrats will do the will of the people. Republicans want to control the will of the people. So we've got to get back to the working class rural focus and make sure that we continuously push those values forward. So another way that we can do this is by recruitment. We know that we're going to have a lot of people from Tinker and from Social Security offices and many of the federal offices here in Oklahoma. They're going to get gutted, and all those people are going to become unemployed. A lot of those people are MAGA, and a lot of those people are Republicans. But who's going to help those people out? It's not going to be the Republicans. It's going to be the Democrats. We're going to have to be the ones who go and meet them at the job fairs and go to recruitment fairs and make sure that we can pull those people back into the Democratic Party so that we can help grow our party and actually start changing the face of what our legislature did. So I've got a simple statement about our legislature. Over the course of the last 10 years, what have we seen with the Democrats in our legislature? It's not going up, is it? And that's the reason why I'm running, because we have got to have a different focus and we've got to be able to turn this ship around. We've got to make sure that we can change course and have a trajectory that we are on a winning track. Who's tired of losing?
Me.
Yeah. So I want to establish a war room. Now, the war room footing sounds really bad, but it's not a bad thing. What I'm asking for is that we establish a war room, a set of people who are constantly looking at the misinformation and disinformation and the lies and the BS that's being talked about the Democrats, and start putting out proper messaging for people to understand. The Democrats, we're not baby killers. We're not coming after your guns. We are people just like you. And we want to make sure that the news media hears that. Instead of hiding behind closed doors, I'm proposing that I will be in front of the news media. I will be in front of the cameras. I will be meeting with that reporter and having a one-on-one discussion with them so that we can get our message across to those people. So again, let's go back to grassroots approach. How do we do that? Again, we have to engage voters. In the Oklahoma Democratic Party, in the last election, only about 20% of all registered Democrats participated in the election.
That's right.
80% of the people did not participate at all. We've got to figure out why they're not participating. And we've got to go to them and talk to them and engage them. As much as we go to the doors and we knock doors for candidates, we need to go to the doors and knock doors for the Democratic Party.
Yes, sir.
So let's think about how did we get here? You know, it seems like we've, kind of neglected some of the people within Oklahoma. We've concentrated on Tulsa, we've concentrated on Oklahoma City, and we've concentrated on Norman. Norman is a great place to live. I live here. This is my home. This is where I want to stay. And I can tell you this, the only time I'm going to move from Norman, Oklahoma is when they move me in a pine box to my grave. I will not move from Norman, Oklahoma again. I've moved many times in my career, and I'm not going to do it. But I want to make sure that we have a place for people outside of those places. We have a place for Democrats to be able to come in and participate and feel welcome. That's what grassroots is all about. And that's why we need to go out into the counties and do something in the public square. Not in a closed room somewhere. We need to be outside where people can see us gathering and have rallies and bring people in like Bernie Sanders and Jasmine Crockett. Who would love to go to a Jasmine Crockett rally, right? I would love to as well. I want to get Jasmine Crockett up here as fast as I can because that young lady is a ball of fire, and we need a ball of fire to ignite our base. And we've got to get people like that. But I want to be also that person that ignites the base as well. And I think I can do that with my strategy. So one thing that I want to talk about in my strategy is my pledge to you, my pledge to the party, and my pledge to the people of Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a great place when it comes to Democratic Party, and it's a great place. Our leadership has done an excellent job establishing themselves within Oklahoma. But the problem right now, the leadership is getting paid. There's one of only 10 people in the entire United States that leadership receives a stipend. It's not a bad thing, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not bad-mouthing that. That's a good thing that we have a person who actually has a stipend and has an income. But I'm going to propose this. I will not take any money until I've earned it. I want us to see that we're growing the party, that we're growing our legislature and our senators. But until then, I pledge to you, I will take every penny and I will continue to try to go out and get that money donated to the Democratic Party for that purpose, but I will use every single penny of that for targeted advertising, for making sure that our candidates can actually, fund themselves. The initial cost to run sometimes is very expensive for a person. I would like to initiate where we can pay part of or all of that cost for them as a Democratic Party, and I would like to take it out of the stipend that is currently earned by the chair. And as elected, I will make sure that stipend is available. Again, according to law. We got to make sure that we're complying with the law as well.
How much is that stipend?
I'm not going to tell.
I know. Can I tell?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Over $50,000.
Ooh.
So again, that's a very substantial amount of money. So again, I'm asking for your support to help lead the Oklahoma Democratic Party out of the political wasteland and back into the political arena. Let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about, we hear this message from our leadership, and I hate using this term, and I don't like repeating it, but we've got to talk about it. People say that our vote doesn't count. Going forward, I'm not going to use that term anymore. We've got to determine how we're going to vote for our people and excite other people. And think about this. Here in Norman, Oklahoma, we have one place called the Palace on the Prairie that everybody who goes there gets excited about, somebody going out there and kicking around a little ball of leather, right? So when you're standing or sitting in that stadium and everybody is cheering and you can't hear yourself cheer, do you stop cheering? No. Why is that? Because you know that if they're cheering louder than you got to cheer louder than them, right? That's the way we got to think about our vote. Our vote is the same way. We're asking not great people to do things for us. We're asking for good people to do great things on our behalf. Those football players out there, they're not doing anything on our behalf except making us feel good. They're not doing anything for our Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. They're not doing anything for our infrastructure and our schools and our hospitals. But the people that we send to the legislature are. Those are people that we ask to do good. They're good people doing great things on our behalf. We've got to cheer them on. And how do we do that? We vote. That is our pledge to them, and we've got to get that message out. So instead of telling people, hey, my vote doesn't count, or allowing people to continue to spread that lie, tell them no. Only 20% of the people are participating. We got to get the 80% that are out there saying, let's do something. Those people would have made big differences in many races throughout this state if they would have just participated. So in conclusion, I ask for your support and ask for, I've got donation cards there. Help support me in becoming the next Oklahoma Democratic State Chair. We are a great state. We just need to have great leaders in place so that we can accomplish the greatness that we have available in front of us. So again, my name is Kevin Dawson. I'm running for Oklahoma Party State Chair. Please vote for me and help the people that are going to our state convention, convince them to vote for me as well. Yes.
What's your plan on, going out into the smaller cities, counties that are never contacted by any Democrat?
So the first thing I want to do is I want to do what's called go out to the public square. I want to start meeting people at the courthouse, at the municipal building in these cities, and we'll advertise it ahead of time so that they will know we're going to be in their community, and come out and listen to us. Meet them in the public square. And when we have the availability within those communities to have people at precinct level, let's go to those precinct people and encourage them to contact more people. There's another thing that we have, it's called Van. And on Minivan, we have a new function that's coming out where we don't even know who our neighbors are who are Democrats, right? Jamie Shelton just talked to us last week about a new function where we can use that minivan and identify all the people that are Democrats within our community. And it's shocking the number that are out there who are actually Democrats. That's another way of trying to get through to people, is just making that one-on-one contact with them. May just have, a lot of people don't pick up the phone. Listen, I've got a 316 area code. How many people here are going to pick up a phone if I called you with the 316 area code? None of it. But if I came to your door and knocked on your door, would you spend time talking to me?
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to have to be. I hope that answered your question, Catherine.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for coming out.